Tulips and Honey, our mega live list. I've got the sound going. The microphone is going in and out of view, so that's great. And we're here on a Saturday, which is weird. So we're poised for a very weird Saturday mega live list, but that's okay because we're gonna have as much fun as we always do. And you guys sent me some great questions and some super cute squirrels. We have some stuff to eat, because that's a thing that we do here. So yeah, welcome to the Mega Live list on a Saturday. So it's not technically a Mega Live Friday. That's okay. That's all right. We're gonna have fun. It's totally fine. It's a weird thing, but we're gonna get through it. So anyways, I'm Lauren Hereford. I'm the host of this weird Mega Live list with the weird microphone that keeps disappearing, and I can't figure out why. I don't know. I moved it around. I did all the stuff. I have no idea. Anyways, that doesn't matter. As long as you guys can hear me, I don't really care if you can actually see the microphone. We don't really need to be professional, right? Like, hashtag not professional is still the motto here? Oh, man, but then I'm disappearing. That's okay, too, as long as you guys can hear me. So let me say hi really quickly to everybody in the comment section already. It's obviously, this is a weird one because it's Saturday, and it's an early time frame. Normally we do this at night, but we're doing it early. So hi to my beautiful daughter who is in the comment section, who is also going to be coming in here soon to try these Oreos and this other weird thing that we found from another country. So we're excited about that. Hi also to Tammy and Mayoshi, Mark, Kristen, James. Hi also to Melly. And sorry, my little allergies are bad, and so my ears are itching, but let's see. Hi to Patrick from Cave to the Cross Apologetics. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. You guys have already been talking quite a bit in the comment section, probably because it took me so long to get started because my microphone kept disappearing. And no matter what I did, it didn't get fixed, and it's still disappearing. But that's okay. We're you know what? It's a little weird and a little annoying. And I don't know how to fix it because it happens randomly, and then other days it doesn't happen. It's nice and sunny out today. I've got the window open. There's lots of light, lots of natural light, lots of my studio lights. So I just have absolutely, it's got to be a Zoom thing, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, so here are some of the great things that you guys sent me. If you're new to this, like you're watching and you're like, what on earth is this? This is the Mega Live list where we talk about squirrels and Oreos and theology. So that's a weird combination. The weird combination is not my fault. It's y'all's fault because the host is never wrong. And you guys demanded. I have no idea. I have no idea now. It's been so long. I do not remember why we started eating Oreos on this live event, because I don't do it on the Monday show. I only do it on the live event. I don't remember why. I know why the squirrels. The squirrels is because I'm constantly like, oh no, I squirreled. And then I show you a picture of a squirrel and I yell squirrel. And then we continue as if I didn't just do something that was really, really weird. So you guys, continuing in that fashion, send me each week super cute or funny or adorable videos or pictures of squirrels. Everything is better than the times that you guys send me your pineapple pizza. That's never something that I enjoy. You guys insist on continuing it. So when you do it, I'm going to continue to show you eating the grossness here so that we can expose you all for your heretical food. Patrick is still over here with the 2 Samuel 16. And that's just, it's not a good enough scriptural evidence for pineapple pizza eating. Sorry, you guys. It's just still gross. But anyways, we do have some super cute pictures of squirrels. This one's from Sandy. I love this one. this poor little squirrel. I feel like this little squirrel is literally living my life, because that's pretty much what I do, trying to like get chores and errands and stuff done. Let's see how many things I can do at the same time before I either injure myself or break something. And usually one of those two things happens, and then I slow down and try to do things one at a time. This squirrel is from Myoshi. Absolutely adorable. This is literally, okay, I don't know if you guys can see it, because it's a little squirrel, and it's sitting on top of the cornucopia. And I just love that, because it's random. It's a random squirrel. It is a random squirrel. It's squirreliness randomly, which is the best kind of squirreliness, right? Like, that's why y'all are here on a Saturday. Instead of enjoying yourselves doing anything else that you could possibly be doing, you're literally here watching me be squirrely, because random squirrels are way more fun than planned squirrels. Do people plan squirrels? Yes, they do plan squirrels, and here's evidence that people, in fact, plan squirrels. Thank you for sending me this, James. This is a squirrel on a leash, and of course, as soon as I saw this, I said to my husband, here is a squirrel on a leash. I need a squirrel on a leash. Why do I not have a squirrel on a leash? I don't even have I have a fluffy squirrel. It's not a real live squirrel. This is now one of my favorite kinds of squirrels, because it's evidence that I should own a real squirrel instead of the super cute little puppet squirrel that I still don't know how to use, because it's complicated. Like, your one finger has to be moving the mouth, and then the other finger has to be moving the hand, and it's complicated. So mostly I just chase the dogs with it. Anyways, I need a real live squirrel, because planned squirrels are a thing that can happen. That squirrel is on a leash, and it's adorable. It's clearly happy that it's on a leash because it's getting food. So, Oklahoma State versus Iowa game is on in the living room. Yes, my amazing husband is downstairs right now watching college football. Super cute. Super duper cute. Mommy, we are not buying you a squirrel. See, she says that. But here's the thing. My daughter, you guys already know, she's amazing. She's super cute. And she's very, very stern about this kind of stuff until something happens. Like, I get sad about something. And then all of a sudden she's like, how can I make mommy feel better? I know, squirrel on a leash. That's what mommy's going to feel. So all I have to do is wait for something horrible to happen. And then when the horrible thing happens, I'll get a squirrel on a leash. So, and it'll be Kaylee. It'll be Kaylee that's all like, Daddy, you know what we should do to make mommy feel better? We should get her squirrel on a leash. Why do you think we have 2 dogs? It's because of Kaylee. It's Kaylee's fault. Okay, let's see here. That is all the squirrels that I have for you guys. I did get some great questions sent in. I'm really excited to answer those questions. But before I do, Kaylee, do you want to come and try this food? Because once I get started talking about, theology, it'll be a while. So you should probably come in here. Now, I know that you guys remember last week we had a whole bunch of Oreos, and we didn't even touch like a quarter of the amount of Oreos that we ordered from Japan and Europe. But I have no idea where I put them. I looked everywhere, and I don't know. I put them somewhere safe where the dogs couldn't eat them, and now I have no idea where they are. I luckily had this one pack, which I wasn't even going to eat really on air because I have a feeling they're just going to be regular. Ooh, your hair looks really pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I braided it and it was like this.
Oh, nice.
No, I did not curl my hair.
You didn't, but it's curly and it's pretty. I like it a lot.
Pal.
Yeah, you're welcome. Should I scoot over a little bit so that you can scoot over a little bit?
Sure.
I didn't plan the chair thingy very well, but I did remember to get you a chair.
Yeah,
which
good
is
pet too.
Thank you.
I'm still not getting a squirrel.
I need a squirrel. It was on a leash. Did you see the leash? Should I show you? Let me show you again. Like, you need to see the leash again. This is a squirrel on a leash. Tell me that you don't want that.
I don't want that.
Look at the fluffy tail.
It's a really fluffy
Sissy,
tail.
lying is sinful. And I know that you're lying when you say that you don't want that super fluffy.
I want that fluffy squirrel, but I don't want to see you devastated when the dogs eat it.
I mean, that will be sad. But you guys could, while I'm asleep, what you could do is you could get me another squirrel on a leash, and I'll never even know. I'll never, like what normal parents do whenever your goldfish die, they just replace the goldfish.
Did they actually do that?
I think so.
When Bob died, you didn't get me a new one.
No. Yeah, Kaylee had a beta fish called Jim Bob when she was little. And it did die, yeah. And we didn't get you another one because the tank stunk really bad. So we were like, oh no, it died. We'll never ever have another fish. So sad. Anyways, so these Oreos, I wasn't gonna try them on air because they are actually just double cream, and I'm assuming that means double stuffed. We're gonna leave that up to our British friends and our Australian friends to tell us for sure. I'm assuming double cream means in y'all's accent double stuffed. So, I mean, that's the hope, right? Like, the hope is that this is going to be double stuffed because we love double stuffed.
Well, we prefer triple / mega / most stuffed.
Most stuffed is the best Oreo.
It's the only Oreo,
it is.
in my opinion.
It really is the only Oreo that I'm going to actually, like, go out of my way to get up in the middle of the night and go downstairs and just, like, take a whole half sleeve. Not that this happens, because it doesn't, because I'm a grown-up and I know how to behave. But...
You're my forever little girl.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll be your forever little girl.
That's right.
When I'm grown.
Okay, these look like normal Oreos.
They look like normal Oreos.
But they come in a cool package.
Why are we trying these normal Oreos on air?
Because I lost all the other Oreos. I have no idea where they are. The ingredients are all in another language, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's so many different.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's different between these and regular.
They look like the most stuffed Oreos to me.
They've got quite a bit in there. Yeah, you're good.
They look kind of weird. Oops, I broke it.
They've got a lot. Well, yeah, they came from across the pond, as it said. Yeah, so it does have quite a bit of cream, and it smells like an Oreo.
It smells like.
Were you about to eat without? What have you done? You can't. What are you taken? You've disassembled the cookie. She's taken the cookie apart. Even Clementine is upset about this. Wow. Do you check the microwave and oven often? I hope Kristen knows me better enough not to ask me that, because while we were there in Washington, I melted that bowl in the. Yeah. It was horrible. It was so bad. Rough. Ready?
Yep.
No. This is wrong.
I eat the cream and the cookies.
But not whenever we're trying them. I mean, okay. But how will they understand, like, the difference between how we usually try regular, like, gross Oreos and how you're trying this? What if it's a gross Oreo? What if you hate that cream and you wish you hadn't done it? I'm not trying to control every minute aspect of your Oreo eating.
Okay.
I'm just trying to protect you.
I saw your mouth yesterday.
Oh, blast. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
Oops.
That's what you get. That's better than our Oreos here.
Mm-hmm. More cream, more flavor.
It's not as overly sweet. Mm-mm. That is way better than our double stuffed. Mm-hmm. Not that I've had a double stuffed Oreo in a while, because we have most stuff downstairs. Why would I eat double stuffed? We need to move to England. We do. Yeah. These are amazing. Absolutely delicious. Way better than regular Oreos. Why is that?
Maybe they don't add as much additives because their country is smaller?
Because their country is smaller, they add less additives. Yes! That's the best explanation for anything ever. Rhode Island must have the least amount of additives in anything ever in the world. Because it's a tiny little state.
Well, I meant preservatives because, you know...
How did you get Oreos up here, though?
Because, you know, their country is smaller than ours.
Uh-huh, so naturally they would put less preservatives in things? Because their food doesn't have to travel as far? No, I understand. I understand your reasoning. I just liked the fact that you said it out loud. Your reasoning is it's not bad. I mean, if you have to take something from Texas and deliver it to North Dakota, that's literally 1,200 miles, yeah.
Away.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to go from point one country in England to point 2 country, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, I saw somebody say that they could get through 3 countries and back in the amount of time it takes to cross America.
Heck.
3 countries and back.
3 countries and back. Maybe it's because we have 50 different miniature countries.
Now, I have to tell you guys, I have no idea what this is going to be because it's all in another country. We found this at a little store that sells things from other countries. So I think that's Dorina Riza. I have no idea. We've never heard of this, but Kaylee was like, we should try that on the live air. And I was all like, sure, why not? And we'll see. Oh, I think we're going to regret it, though, because that definitely looks like rice cake. That looks like rice cake.
I'll try it after I'm done with my delicious Oreo.
Are you still eating Oreos? My goodness. I didn't even notice that she was just over here eating all of the... Not that I was going to hide them and eat them later. Tammy's right. You did go rogue on that one. James is also right. You're quite clever. That was really smart. I should not make her laugh right now while she's got like an entire Oreo. I don't know if you know this, but you're live on air, just like. It's okay because it's my show and nobody expects anything less. Anyways,
I can stuff an entire muffin in my mouth and eat it.
I know.
Without even taking another bite.
I don't even know what this has in it, to be honest, because I can't read the ingredients.
That looks. Oh my gosh, that looks absolutely.
I thought it was gonna be more like a Kit Kat kind of thing, but let's.
So did I.
Really?
It was my birthday at the time. That's why she got it. I'm sorry.
You should be sorry. 3, 2, 1.
Ah!
Nope, that is not good. That is not tasty. Wow. There's just nothing good about that. The Rice Krispie, or not Rice Krispie, the rice cake portions.
She's eating the squirrel like a. She's eating the Oreo like a squirrel. I'm eating the squirrel like an Oreo.
She opens things like squirrels too.
Yeah. They call me the raccoon because I tear things apart to open them.
It's true. I've literally found bags of Doritos that have been opened like she was dissecting the center of it. Like she was like, just forget it, and takes a knife and just opens the center of the Dorito bag, and I'm like, I don't understand. How is that easier than the regular way? And you're like, I don't know, it just was. Obviously, because I ate them. Thank you for eating this gross stuff. Did you spit it back out? You said it right in front of me. It's so gross. I love you so much. You're so my child. Thank you.
There's any paper towels in here, so.
We always need to have paper towels for these things. I don't know what I was thinking not having paper towels. These can go in the trash though. Yeah, like you can take the delicious double cream Oreos because these are amazing. These are now yours.
Thank you. After we force Daddy to eat that, of course.
You're gonna make him try that? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him try it. I'll just tell him it's a Kit Kat.
It's just, it's like a Kit Kat. That way you're not lying.
It's like a rotten Kit Kat.
Yeah, like the Rice Krispie portions, they actually taste or felt like stale marshmallows. Like one of those little tiny marshmallows that are stale and they've been out too long.
I like Cheetos better stale.
Yeah, I would eat stale anything other than that. Besides stale pineapple pizza, that's just the worst. Sorry. Okay, I love you. Thank you for joining me. You're amazing.
You're amazing. I'm gonna take this to Daddy.
Okay, hopefully he likes them better than we did because they were really gross.
Yep.
Anyways, okay, that was our Oreo portion. Usually we don't. This is why we don't add other stuff. It's bad enough that sometimes we have to try Oreos that taste like Play-Doh. That was way worse. I just don't understand. Like, people like that kind of stuff? I don't know. If I'm going to eat chocolate, I don't want it to have healthy stuff in it. That's silly. I just want it to have delicious chocolatey goodness in it. Anyways, okay. Now we'll move on to the awesome questions that you guys have sent me in. I've pulled 3 of these wonderful questions from you guys. If you want to ask questions and you're not sure where to send them in, you can email me. You can send me a message. If you message the Tulips and Honey page on Facebook, though, because it's like the weird way that the business suite works, I don't actually see those like as a part of my own messaging. So it's probably a good idea to message me personally or find me on Twitter or Instagram or email me, or you can drop a question here. But the best place to ask a question is actually over on the group, the Tulips and Honey Facebook group. There's a link in the description down below in case you're not a part of it. That's the best place to ask questions, because not only will you get to see your question talked about here live, but also all the people that are part of that group that are way smarter than me and have been a believer way longer than me, they are also there, and they will give you a lot better answers than I ever could. So if you want to ask a question, that is the place to do it, really. But you can also just drop questions here if you want to. Either way, it's totally fine. Okay, first question came in from Pin. Now, first of all, I thought this was just a really, really cool question. I was excited to see this question over in the group because this type of thinking, this type of working things out, not only is it just a joy to answer these kind of questions because it's a segue into the gospel, but also I love to see people thinking these things through, because in maybe professing Christianity as a whole, sometimes these questions that make people a little uncomfortable to answer or a little uncomfortable to think about, they tend to just sort of be like brushed under the rug a little bit. But that's not necessary, because the answers to these questions are fantastic, and they're biblical, and they're easy to find, and they're easy to answer if you know how to like study these things, I guess. I don't even know where like all the thoughts come from. But anyways, that was a weird sentence. It's okay. We're just going to wish there was an edit button for live events, but there's not. I'm just trying to say that I love this question, and I think it should be something that people are more comfortable asking. And just to show that, like, she was struggling to ask this question, she had to, like, say, please know that this is coming from a humble heart. And that's why I encourage the questions in the group, why I encourage questions here, because I remember whenever I was new to Reformed theology, whenever I had just gotten saved, and there was all these big words and all these big doctrines, and I didn't understand. And a lot of times I would ask questions, and people would take it offensively, like I was attacking their beliefs by asking these questions. But really, I was just trying to understand, and I didn't understand. And so I didn't realize at the time that asking the questions seemed to them as if I was questioning their faith, whenever actually I was just trying to understand where they were coming from. So that's why I encourage these questions, and why I always encourage everybody in the group to be really kind and gracious whenever you're answering these questions. Whenever people are talking about these kind of things, we want to be obviously we want to be gracious at all times. We're the people who believe in the doctrines of grace. We should be the most gracious people alive. So anyways, Pen's question is fantastic. She said she's just learning about Calvinism and is very overwhelmed. So her question is, she actually says it's her question and her fear is, what if I choose to follow God, but he didn't actually choose or elect me? Is that possible, or is wanting to follow God evidence of being chosen? Now, election, predestination, this is one of the things that people tend to push back against really heavily. In the Protestant faith, the lines that have been drawn have mostly been drawn here in limited atonement, which are pretty much connected. So they're like two halves of the same coin. People really, really don't like the fact that election is a biblical thing. Like, it's a biblical truth. Election, predestination, these are things that come from Scripture. So a lot of times if people are coming out of Word of Faith, where they were told that they could speak things into existence, where they've been told that their words have power, that they're very important and powerful, and, we have false teachers like Kenneth Copeland who say things like you have to command God and stuff like that. So I think whenever you come out of stuff like that and you've been told those kind of things, it's hard for you to then understand that the Scripture actually teaches the exact opposite, that God is in control of salvation. God is in control of who he chooses to elect. That's not an opinion. That's actually just what Scripture states. And so I think it's fantastic that she's asking this question. And I can see exactly where her heart is in this, because I remember having that exact same thought, like, oh, if God is sovereign, and I've been walking around talking about how I chose to make Jesus my Lord, then I'm not speaking biblically. What if I'm not elect? Then what happens? And so I know exactly where her heart is in this. And so the easiest answer is to say yes to her last statement. Is wanting to follow God evidence of being chosen? In a sense, the flat answer to that would be, of course, yeah. If you're wanting to follow the biblical God. Now, there's a lot of idols out there that are made after our own images, idols of gods that don't care if you sin, don't care how you live your life. They just want you to be happy. That sort of false god that people tend to build up in their own images. The Santa Claus Jesus that just wants to give you everything that your little heart wants to make you happy. None of those are biblical. So if you're wanting to follow the biblical God, pick up your cross and follow him. If you're wanting to mortify your flesh, so kill, like John Owen says, be killing your flesh will be killing you. If you're wanting to rid yourself of sin because you hate it so much, you want to follow God, and God is righteous and just and pure and perfect, and you're looking at the Scriptures, and then you're looking at the fact that God is the one that chooses whom he will, you might find yourself saying, but what do I do if I'm not chosen? Because I don't want to be, I know what I deserve. This was my thought process. I deserve hell. I know that I deserve hell. I don't deserve to be saved. What if I'm not saved? If God chose not to save me, he would be right in his choice not to save me. But the heart of a sinner, of a lost sinner, of a person who has never been saved by the grace of God, that heart is not going to desire the things of God. They're not. They're going to desire the things of the world. They're going to desire the things of the flesh. So they're going to want to be built up, be glorified themselves. They're going to be prideful. They're going to want to have people say, oh, you're so spiritual. You're so religious. Oh, you do so many great things. Look how wonderful you are. You're such a good person. That's the desires of the religious lost person. So if your heart is instead humble before God and saying, I know I don't deserve to be chosen, it's almost like, and I don't know if this is where she was coming from, but it's how I heard it. To me, it's almost like humbly coming before God and saying, I know that I don't deserve to be saved. It's amazing grace. It's unfathomable that you would choose me. If God is choosing elect, he's not going to choose me, the least of all sinners. The worst of all sinners, the least of all believers. That's sort of the humble meekness of a heart that's been changed. So whenever God chooses an elect, predestines this person to salvation, and graciously saves them, removes their heart of stone, replaces it with a heart of flesh, gives them new desires. Those new desires are going to be the greatest evidence that you are a new person. That doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. In fact, 1 John tells us that if anybody says that they are without sin, they're lying, and lying is a sin. So I love the way that he puts that, because I just think it's just like so funny how he puts it. But you're not going to be perfect. You're still going to struggle with sin, but you will struggle with sin. The difference is that instead of enjoying the sin, instead of just wallowing in it, instead of finding ways to either be praised for not sinning or finding ways to sin without getting caught, finding excuses for your sin, the believer is going to hate that sin. And that's the evidence that you've been chosen. So if you are truly, genuinely wanting to seek after God, the biblical God, the God of the Bible, Scripture clearly tells us that none seek after him. No, not one. So that is evidence that God has chosen you, that you are elect. And I love the heart of this question to say, me though? Like, if God is sovereign, surely not me. Or like, I understand if it's me. If it's me and I'm the one just bribing and manipulating and begging and doing every work that I can do to try to earn my way, I want to go to heaven. Nobody wants to go to hell, right? Like, I mean, if the only people who say they want to go to hell don't actually understand what hell is. Anybody who has a biblical understanding of hell doesn't want to go there. But we want to, in our flesh, we want to earn it. So it would make sense to me if syncretism was a biblical thing. It's not when it comes to salvation. If syncretism was a biblical thing and I could work with God to save myself, it would make sense because I want to be saved. But whenever you look at it from the biblical truth that God chooses whom he will, that God is the one sovereign over who is saved and who's not saved, then it makes no sense that any of us are ever saved. I mean, R.C. Sproul, okay. Yeah, okay. John MacArthur, yeah. Paul Washer, okay. I understand. We only see the best of these people. That's all we see. We only see them on Sunday or in conferences. We read their books. We see the best of them. But if you were to ask their wives, they might have something different to say. But us, we know ourselves, right? Like, especially as believers, once we're saved, the more saved I am, the longer I'm saved, the more I read Scripture, the more I understand the righteousness of God, the more I understand my sin and how deeply sinful it is. And that leads me further and further into saying, why would God save me? Why? I can't understand why God would save any of us. But least of all me, last of all me, to be considered chosen. And that's the heart, that's the change in your heart. Because we don't boast. We can't boast in our salvation. We can't boast in what God has done in our lives, in our hearts. The change that he has done inside of our wretched, sinful hearts. That difference is all purely what God has done. And we can't boast in that. And we don't want to boast in that because we're sitting over here like, I can't even right now understand this amazing grace that God has while we were yet sinners, he died for us. That is amazing grace. It really is. And that's why I love this question. And hopefully more people who have questions like that will be comfortable asking them. I know 100% how overwhelming it is whenever you first start learning about Reformed theology and Calvinism, and there's so many words. There's so many big words. There's lots of them. Some of them are not even in English. A lot of them are not in English. So many of the words in the Reformed Church are in Latin. I don't speak Latin, so I had to memorize them. I have a very bad memory, so I understand. It's very overwhelming. Give yourself some grace. Take it day by day. Learn as you go, and don't be so terribly hard on yourself if, I think I froze. Did I freeze? Can you guys still hear me? I have no idea if you guys can hear me or not. I think something may have gone wrong.